Hello, and we are back for part 2 of Empire of the Lost NxT. Something's not right. Something is not right. Somebody's camera is not right. What changed?
Camera should be on.
Whose camera?
My
Is it
camera's
me?
centered.
Somebody changed. Somebody's size changed.
In the last part,
There,
I
it
think
fixed itself.
Robert dropped and then came back, so maybe that was it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry about that. I was like,
No, actually, it's still not very
Hey.
Well, blah 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 blah. We're getting this thing started.
Alfie and I were problem children.
Blah blah blah. We're all terrible people.
We start with the
Kids.
group currently descending in this circular tomb that they're creating into the floor itself as it digs deeper into the ground. As we open up the scene there.
Alright, so Asteron's face planted
wait,
onto
before
the
you
floor
all
of this
say
thing.
anything, I just want you to know, next time you guys have an argument with me, I want you to remember this moment and how I was correct. Okay?
Sure thing.
Fine.
Is Asteron.
Whatever. I'm taking the baby from Rykor.
Where
How's
exactly
the-
do you think this would go?
I don't know.
This doesn't even
Also, I
look
can
like
help
it
you
would
up.
probably fit one of these things properly.
It's
Probably.
40 feet. It's 40 feet wide. I'm pretty sure we could do
Stand
something
up.
worth it.
Can anyone see anything?
I could for a little bit, but then apparently dark, the dark vision I get for being a merc doesn't really allow me to see through things that don't have light sources. So yeah.
What the fuck? What?
Well, you
what
can
is
stand
wrong with you? Why are you speaking that way?
I'm
Just
on
get
the
off
ground
floor.
right now.
Get off the floor.
I don't know. It's a little. It's kind of. It's nice and cool, kind of.
Okay, I'm gonna just pulse you up.
Gropes around in the darkness.
Actually, yeah, I suppose go sounds in the darkness until find someone lying on the floor. That's
No, you just
Ah.
like kick through with your feet until you find him, then
Shuffle
kick him
around.
inside.
Why'd you have to do that? It was kind of relaxing. How's the baby doing? I saw it like take a huge fall.
Yeah, is it
Ash
okay?
would have to tell me how his baby's doing.
True.
Do we really need light right now, or is that like?
Let's
It would
keep
help.
it. I mean,
Might be a good idea.
Is there something you could do?
Yeah. There is, but do I do it or not? It's
Go ahead.
not that big.
If it's not too straining,
It's not
Yeah.
too straight.
head.
We could use some.
I take out my mace and then it says it begins to glow. So yeah.
Oh.
If something
Handy.
glows, it's iffy on if it actually provides a light or not.
It does.
Also, Also, that's a 10 energy at the start of each round. So let's see. In about, let's see, 3 times. Okay, so it's 20. 10 times 20. So
It's gonna last
yeah,
30 seconds.
yeah, essentially.
Well, yeah. I don't I get 5 back every like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
How long's the?
Oh yeah,
So-
true. So
So maybe like 40 seconds.
yeah.
All right, I'm putting on a timer right now.
Are you gonna need any help keeping that light up?
Maybe I don't know.
I could
Can you
at
do-
least make it less straining for you.
You can do that.
You can do
Yeah,
that.
it's not that hard.
Oh shit, let's go then.
Okay, I'm gonna go over, stand next to you, and start praying, which is
That's
also the kindred ability called Pray. I remain immobile for 3 rounds. I am able to cast abilities, use staffs, but I'm unable to speak or open my eyes. And anyone adjacent to me, that's you by the way, gains half my magic as energy regeneration. Oh boy, what is half my magic? Well, I'll tell you. My magic is 21. Half that is 10. Round that shit up, my dudes, is 11. Gain
Oh, I as he stands next to me. Oh, I have no problem now. Wow. This feels
Astron's thinking this is oddly sensual.
Mildly suggestive.
Yeah, for some reason, he's just looking. Well, can't really look on because it's big, but he's just imagining
It's
it in his
candlelight.
mind.
There's candlelight now.
As
Oh right, yeah.
the light illuminates the tunnel that's digging deeper into the structure, you look into the black stone as you see hundreds upon hundreds of faces looking in like skeleton-like horror, all their heads facing upwards as you're making your descent down. The sound of stone grinding on stone ever present in your descent, aided with the muffled cries of one of the heads of the child as you make your continual approach to the depths of wherever this particular lift is leading you.
Hey Raya, could you try to soothe that baby so it doesn't attract attention?
How?
Pat it
How
on
do I
the
do
back.
Pull out a
Pat
tit or
it on the
something.
back.
that? Sure, I will pat it as gently as I can on the back, very awkwardly. How?
Yeah, you're patting on the back, but it doesn't
Cool.
seem to be doing much to its crying problem.
Sujin's gonna try and get your attention
When
right.
does it
and
start working?
Go ahead, Sujin.
what were you saying, Robert? Yeah.
oh, Raya.
What?
Sujin starts to point at his breast and say, "Maybe that will help."
Sorry.
Thanks. No.
I couldn't understand what you were saying. You were breaking up. What did you say?
Oh my gosh.
Sujin like points at his breast and says, "Crying baby."
Oh. Ryan is not amused.
I would respond, but I physically can't right now.
Should you value your life, you'll not make such a comment again.
I just look you dead in the eye. No.
I'm sorry, it was just right there. I just had to take that chance.
Astron's holding in a burst of laughter right now while Philip fails to.
Back again with the inverted titty.
Yeah. I mean, he would say something that there's probably nothing even there, but he's not going to say anything about that. Well,
Oh my God.
okay, so I
We're
don't know.
just children in disguise.
That's I never had parents.
I guess I will rub its back.
Yeah, like, do people know how this stuff works? Akiyama? I
Well,
think you had like a
he
loving childhood,
Well,
right?
he can't speak right
once
now.
the prey ability
He
wears
can't
off, which
talk.
well, no. The prey ability lasts for 3 rounds, which isn't very long. So I would be able to speak of frequency in between prayers. He would look up and he'd be like, "Well, yeah, but those are my parents. I don't exactly know anything about looking after children."
Yeah, I mean, like, can't you like follow by example? Like, remember what they might have done when you started crying?
Give me what I wanted.
Okay,
They know what you
Okay.
wanted.
I'm gonna do a sense motive on the baby again to see what it wants.
Oh my
I'm gonna do a better sense motive than whatever you fucking roll.
bonus on the baby.
Yeah, because the lowest I can get, the highest I can get is the
It's
lowest.
the lowest I can get. Trying to out socialize me. Who the fuck do you think you are?
You can obviously tell that it is upset.
It's upset.
I'm gonna try to.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to stabilize the baby.
Bang its head or something.
Here, baby.
Ah!
As Riker comes up
Fuck
to
me.
deal with it, you can see where it landed from its young age, it's still very
Aw.
malleable, and definitely garnered some damage from the tumble.
Yeah, it's probably got a fucking indented head now.
Horrible. Oh my gosh.
Literally dropped
With a
on its
baby
head as
of
a
its
baby.
age, yeah, no, that's super legit. Like, it probably would have an indented head.
No, I know that. That's why I'm saying we're horrible.
We're the worst.
Yeah, we are.
We're the worst
Actually-
At least it has two heads.
So let's give Chris a chance to say something.
Sorry.
And, I actually don't say a lot. I just kind of walk over to it and kind of hold a hand close to its mouth and look for anything that might be wrong with it, knowing that it sort of took a hard tumble.
Which mouth?
Whatever one is crying.
Both.
Yeah,
Oh.
is what he said. You dick.
I want to say both.
You dick.
Yeah, dick.
And yeah, just like muttering to myself, just, please stop. Please.
Please stop.
I could try to get its interest at least.
Oh my gosh.
It's around this time, your senses are assaulted with a sudden flash of light as wherever this lift has gone seems to reach the ceiling at its descent as light peers into this column, blinding you guys momentarily as you continue to be settled down on this pillar. Once your senses come back to you, you find yourselves standing still on the pillar as it's descending in a large dome-like structure that stretches on for hundreds of miles. In the center, a large purple glowing singularity within
I'm gonna
a
oh.
clear dome that has an expanse so large that you can't really ascertain its full size. What it looks like is just this bright blot in the center of the room, glowing and pulsating with energy that laps out in dark bolts of electricity that shoots up to downwards facing spires and the rooftop of this large dome. In the very center above it, you see a hole that has an expanse that you assume to be around 50 or so yards in diameter. And after a moment's still being descended, an arc of light followed by that familiar foghorn-like sound echoes off in this room, magnified to a level almost deafening to you all.
Home or not, this place definitely looks very important.
Yeah.
And I want to roll the knowledge arcana. Would this be ballparking more as a player and the role more as a character? Some kind of like power source for the whole place. Because that's what it's sounding like. That's what it's sounding like.
Looking at this, you're not too sure what it is in its entirety, but you have a extremely educated guess that this has some type of a core mentality to whatever they may be running or may not be. You're not too sure, but it seems to have a lot of similarities with the objects you guys have been used to travel here. Possibly some of the mechanics that this building works with, and looking at it, it looks familiar to the shooting light that you originally saw when you first came here.
So I don't get anything with the knowledge dark.
This has nothing to do with the dark.
Okay.
The shooting light from the teleporting, or from when we were
After you
The-
teleported and that light happened, followed by the noise.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's definitely got the same kind of thing going on. It's very. What would you call it? Very.
Reminiscent.
Not reminiscent, more like it's a kind of center to the whole thing.
So, I think we don't want to turn this off, otherwise we can't get out of here.
It's a good.
Yes, but at the same time, if we wanted to get what we want, this really is the place to be. I imagine, considering their only way in and out is through magical teleportation, if we were to take it hostage or something.
As you guys continue your descent, getting closer to the ground, you start to notice, in the distance, at least, multiple large creatures moving around the stagnated ground that is littered with stalactites and almost equally in size. Large two-headed figures wielding large iron-looking picks towards the area, looking to dig out this dome for a larger size. And in looking around here, you also notice familiar pillars of black cobble that seem to shoot up towards the roofs to no visible end. Exactly 7 in total.
7 instead of 8.
You only see 7.
So what's the plan from here on out?
I thought we wanted to go up. This thing went down.
Good question. I have a good question. These two-headed figures, are they looking more like the slave mastery kind or the slave kind?
They're too far to tell. You're
Damn.
only looking at the ones from a distance instead of the ones directly below you because you're about 20 feet away from the edge of the center of where you guys are at.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Though it's still quickly descending, and you still don't know what's directly below you.
Someone want to have a glance over the edge?
Astron's gonna get on his belly and start shimmying up to the side of it and looking down.
Oh, very good with not doing that.
Looking down, now gartering that view at least, you begin to notice your pillar has very similar looks towards the other 7, which would make this one the 8th.
Eight.
And alongside that, 2 large, 2-headed sentinels dressed with what looks like bone mail and different bone-like armors, with 2 large pikes with 8 prongs at the end, looking like 8-pronged tridents, with their backs turned towards the pillar, currently looking over what looks like a whole entire host of these smaller 2-headed workers with picks.
I look back over to him and went, so, can we bring this thing back up? Like, can we like abort mission for a second? There are like 2 big Titan-looking things down there.
Is the baby still crying?
Is it?
After being addressed by Rykor, it settled down.
That's good.
Don't
Daddy
exactly
Rykor.
think we can make it go back up, considering you used the lever to make it go down.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So,
Is there any part of this pillar that is in shadow?
for now, but once it goes down, if it goes flush, there is no shadow. It just
Right.
becomes the ground.
Okay.
If we assume that all of these pillars are used in the same way, could we also assume that they go to different places and therefore one of them may get us to where we need to go?
Possibly.
Probably, but we don't know where that is. And there's obstacles in the way.
It's a good
Yeah.
guess, at least.
We need to get that information from these gods.
Oh,
Well,
I'll
if you
get
want to
some-
talk to him, be my guest.
I don't think our attack is going to go unnoticed.
okay. All right.
What's a good thing we can make up quick?
We're babysitters. I don't know.
We're returning the child to the proper owners?
We
That
can do
sounds-
that.
You're the smooth talker, not any of us.
I resent that. mean, it's
Hopefully
true,
they'll
but I
just
still
be
resent that.
really stupid.
What was that?
I said I resent that. It's true, but I resent that.
No, I didn't hear what Elfie said.
That hopefully they'll be really stupid.
What?
Oh,
Oh.
boy, take that back. Fun fact though, Alfred, as a name, does actually mean Elven Council. Yes, it's fucking stupid.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
oh
it does.
my gosh.
It's really dumb.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right.
I love those old names.
Old English
Okay.
boys.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so
As the pillar
We-
starts to, from what you assume, Asteron, be less than 20 seconds to reaching the bottom.
Alright,
okay.
alright.
All right, we got like 20 seconds, so let's.
If we have to talk to them at all, I'm just gonna start shouting at them, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm supposed to be there.
Fine.
Fine. I'm gonna stand behind Rykor.
You're the master at this.
Well, no, preferably we won't have to talk to them. Preferably they won't even notice we're here with Steve.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Once
would
it
be very
reaches
nice.
around 16, or around 15 seconds, the very tops of their weapons become visible.
Fuck.
So that's Cam, by the way. Nervous laughter it is.
By the way, so what do their weapons look like?
I already described it. They
Yeah.
look like
Oh,
They're
yeah,
like
you did.
tridents of 8 forks.
Oh, try
Yeah.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's 50 seconds, and the pill's coming all the way down, so we're gonna be below them by the end of this. Okay, all right. Okay. Shh. Hi.
And Asteron, as you remember, as you look at them, you remember them being like facing outwards towards a group, and both of them had their tridents like right-sided as they were facing out towards a group. As it's going down, they seem to be oriented on the left now.
Yeah. Okay. So they're facing us now. That's great.
Okay. All right. So, okay, you're going to have to talk to them. There's no way around this.
Okay, yep, fine.
And
And
around
he
as
just like
10 seconds
waves
pass,
his hand over his face and just puts a very serious face on.
you watch as two violet-colored eyes, well, 4 sets of them, eye you as you make eye contact with their heads, as all 4 heads look at your group
Okay.
in
Happy.
what you could tell a mixture between confusion, rage, or hunger. As the pillar continues to settle further into the ground, going past their bone mail, they're very well armored to the point that the only skin that was blatantly visible was when you were passing by their faces. Down to when your pillar finally meets its final transition to the ground, hitting about 5 feet before sinking completely into the ground. But at this point, 4 violent, hateful glares like stars beam down at you from the 30-foot tall Goliaths.
What up?
I'm gonna. I'm
Our
sorry,
lives
he's
are
looking
in
at
your
me like
hands.
that. Okay, I'll kind of half shouts up them because I imagine he has to be audible.
Fuck!
The one that
We're dead.
is on the right, its left head would turn to the right, and the one that's on the left, its right head would turn to the left, as those two heads would look to each other as you say this, before the 2 sets of purple, hateful stars beam back down at you. And then an amount of pressure begins to build up, almost sucking in the breath from your lungs as you watch these Goliaths lean down, the very motion causing so much a torrent, almost taking the wind out of your lungs, before they sit up approximately 20 feet above you, leaning in so you see teeth, eyes, and ire beaming down before you.
This is great, this is fine. It's
Well,
fine.
speak up. I wouldn't want to have to speak directly to your superiors.
Oh, God.
We weren't aware. The very, breath almost knocking you guys off your feet. Of felicitors making an appearance.
Of course, you're not aware. We don't let the common guard know about all our goings on.
Oh, God. Oh, what the fuck?
Since when do felicitors travel with an enemy? All purple hues seem to put Suijin on a spotlight.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh. Oh.
Wait, what?
Okay.
That's the difference between what you believe and what I know. That's why I'm a higher position than you are. See, I have him here to inform me on how the enemy works and thinks. If you ask me any more stupid questions, I will have to go directly to those superior to yours, and I might have one, maybe both, of your heads.
Oh,
Now,
my
are you
God.
going to slow me and my assistants anymore, or are you going to get out of the way?
So good.
The 2 heads that look to each other before once again look amongst each other before the one on the right speaks.
Also, I'm technically rolling bluff this entire
I'm
time.
waiting for you to roll. So far, they're
Yeah,
not
there you go.
resisting it.
Bam.
Oh, fuck.
You are aware that we must go through proper procedure for this unappointed visit.
Well, of course it's unappointed. If I was coming here on appointment, then you would act in a different way as opposed to becoming unappointed. I'm here unappointed to see how you work in a normal situation. If I came here appointed, you would do your best to make me think that you always work like that, when a lot of people don't. Do you
Oh my
understand?
God.
Are we clear?
Then you're clear that I will have to get in contact with Urasak.
I'm already in contact with Ulasak. Do you not understand this? You have 2 heads.
And if
It should
you
be
understand,
very easy for you.
as a felicitor, if you are trying to gather our attention to our job, we will fulfill it. Kundak! Go. It nods with a heavy grunt as it lifts up again its motion of doing so, almost once again creating that vacuum, almost pulling you towards it from its sheer size and strength, before heavily going off the beaten path further to the north of here. Which you didn't notice it before, but you can see almost like a castle-like structure made out of this rock seems to lay in that direction.
As for you, Felicita, please enjoy your inspection here at
Oh,
the
boy.
7th octave.
Suppose I will. And what's your name? I would like to know when I file my report. For wasting valuable time and resources.
Augusai.
Good to know. Come on, let's get moving. And Akiyama turns to look back to everyone else for a moment. He has the biggest shit-eating grin on his face you have ever fucking seen. And he just walks forward, completely cocksure, spring in his step. Everything's fine and dandy in Akiyama land.
I'm
Sure, that's great. I guess we're going it.
Yep, gonna follow behind him.
Yep. Mhm.
I have a new appreciation for Akiyama now.
I'm gonna.
That was amazing.
Yep, we go.
Susan, don't be at the back.
No. Susan
Yeah.
needs to be in the middle. We need to protect
You are
her.
in the middle.
I am in the middle.
Walking forward.
Fuck me.
As you continue
That wasn't
forward,
nerve-wracking.
you walk into what you were described to be the 7th octave mine, looking to all these two-headed individuals, muscles pounding into the heavy stone that doesn't even look like it would be wielding for the strongest of crag miners back on Tillith. Here, these creatures piercing through them like they're sandstone, chip by chip. And taking a cursory glance, you see another smaller individual, the two heads, though unlike the ones that you see here, sat at a table with what seems two pairs of glittering windows for glasses on its eyes, currently writing in parchments and papers. While the
Oh, good. Here's a smart one.
hordes of others that are working continue to do so with not even taking a moment to raise their eyes to peer at the ants that are walking through their domain.
So I look over to Akiyama. So what's the game plan here? Are we gonna try to see if we can start going back up? Like go to one of these pillars? Do you want to do something down here, or?
Akiyama just starts giggling a bit. I don't know at all.
Back.
Okay. I mean, great job back there. That was some really good bullshitting. It's really great.
Fuck.
Does anyone see other levers?
I don't know.
Do a spot check for that.
What are we spot checking for?
Levers.
Livers. Sure, I'll look at it.
Right, I don't remember if I have
spot.
Oh, I do have. Not
Might
much.
as well. I mean, fuck it.
Oh.
You don't notice any levers, anything, and Rykor, as you make your inspection back, you actually notice the one that called himself Aktab takes his octi-pointed pike, stabs it into the stone 8 times as it begins to turn and crank and bring itself back up towards the ceiling.
Oh, good. So we're never getting out.
Akiyama,
Yes.
I think we're going to have to talk him.
Can I what?
I think we're going to have to talk to him, pointing back at the guard, into letting us up the right pillar.
I'm sure there's others. I doubt they would have for one person to do all of these pillars. That seems massively impractical.
Well, I don't know. You tell me. Is that what you're going to write in your report?
Maybe.
So how are we gonna get them to, get us to where we need to go? Or...
Excuse me, sir.
Oh boy.
Oh, good.
Oh boy.
There's a smart one.
You hear coming
Someone
from
else.
the seated, 2-headed individual.
What is it?
I see that you have brought another worker. You
Yes,
can
does
bring
appear
it to
that I have-
me to assess it.
It does appear that I do have to do my your job for you. Yes, I do have this child. It appears you left it.
Well, that is something you can take a complaint with the grabbers if you must.
I think I might want to take that straight to the top. See, with being a direct advisor to Ilioff, of course I don't get down here very often, we've been considering about modernizing the operation quite a bit, and, well, this clearly isn't up to standard.
One of his heads would raise a brow as its left arm would reach up and remove his glasses. Go ahead and roll bluff.
Oh, boy.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah, boy! I totally
They
didn't
didn't
roll a
go
max
through for me.
10. I totally didn't. I did. I super did.
Oh,
You rolled a
fuck.
10.
I'm
I have
hamming
to, I
my
have
way
to
to
restart roll 20.
victory.
Hang on.
I'm hamming my way
It's
to
privately rolled.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
By
have
the
my
way,
I'm a little
bluff
alarmed.
privately rolled.
How good Akiyama is at lying.
By
Yeah, I
the
have
way,
my bluff on PM because I use it against players a lot.
Yeah,
By the way-
we know.
he can still beat this.
Oh yeah, a
I'll
probably
be
can.
fine, will I?
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Please don't beat this.
Fuck me up. I'm so scared.
He would just growl underneath his breath as he looks to you for a moment.
Ah, I see. Well then, I'm glad that my letters of recommendations of change has finally reached the top. I've actually submitted a number of forms stating the ill contempt of workers and the workload here being under substantial for the type of workers that we can actually garner, especially with elevating age, accelerating growth, forcing the labors onto the younglings to get the optimal growth out of our children.
Exactly, you've got so many slaves as well. Barely make use of them.
Did you receive my docket on the subclass Action C suit?
Myself, personally, no. See, myself in a higher position, you have to learn to give the correct forms to the correct people. Right? I can't do all the work myself, I have to have other people do some things for me, of course.
You
Oh my
are a
God.
facilitator, are you not?
Something of the sort, yes.
The papers go to your department. Where else would they go? There is no other up.
Of course, no.
Oh no. Oh god.
I don't read all the forms myself. I have people to do that for me. Just as you have people to do the manual labor, to do that work for you. Unless, of course, you've been picking up a pick yourself and been doing the work.
Of course, I pick up doing the work. Though it's my job to make sure that the facilitators are happy with the numbers here and are aware of complaints of keeping the Mother Stone active.
Yes, of course, of course.
Oh my god.
Now, see, what exactly are you doing for the moment of keeping that Mother Stone active? I mean, of course, I could read a form about it, but I much like to prefer to hear it from the individual. More personalized, you see.
Of course, I understand the methods that the facilitators need to make sure that we keep things in top working order. The Mother Stone has asked for. It's currently being supplied with enough aether to keep going for another 100 cycles of uninterrupted servitude to everyone in the upper levels. We here at the Octanks make sure to supply it with a steady need of that material by mining it from the soul rock at a constant basis. The gravel that this plane seems to emit has very strong materials that benefit the Mother Stone, and doing so, keep things going in a very plentiful manner. Would you like me to go in this cycle's dividends?
No, I'm sure individual statistics that can stay in the reports. It's nice to know there's someone so knowledgeable in our work here. It's good to know.
Of course, I try to honor the Octane and the Spire as much as possible, he says with a deep... It looks like a deep bow, but comparatively to your guys' height to his size, it just looks like he's just looking down at you.
Mm.
Now, about my Class C, Section 8.
Yes, we'll have someone to talk to you personally on it soon, very soon, but
I
see, when it
assume
comes to...
That's what they were sending you down here for, since today is the 7th Octank's day for the Felicitor to oversee us.
Yes, but with the amount of work we're doing at the moment, stuff has to be put back slightly. Modernizing an organization means things has to be put on the back burner. I'm sure you understand, being a intellectual man yourself.
Roll a deception.
Work all day, every day.
Just
Shit.
lean
Oh,
over.
Oh no.
Guys,
What'd you roll?
I didn't do it good.
What did you
Oh,
roll?
no.
I'm not telling
What'd
you.
you
Bail.
I was about to say. I was about to say. After I goes up and tells him we should probably cut the shit and get straight to it.
family?
No. Fuck.
Oh no.
I was muted.
Fuck.
What was your rank in the facilitators again, sir?
No. No.
Above your pay grade.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I do believe I'm invoking the right of the 7th please give me your rank, sir.
No!
Okay.
I'm so scared.
Astron's thinking of at some point coming up behind Sujin and trying to intimidate him from behind his shoulder to just back off, but he wants to see how Akiyama's gonna do. But he starts gonna start making his way.
Facilitator.
Grand.
Fuck!
I like.
Roll a bluff.
I'm just. I'll just be down here.
I'm gonna throw up.
Very strange.
Did you do it good?
The Grand Facilitator doesn't do the job of petty facilitators by meeting the octanes. I'm
Yes,
sorry, but
Normally.
I do believe you're trying to pull the wool over my eyes, and
There it is.
unfortunately you only pulled rug for 4 eyes.
Oh god.
Would you like to tell me again why you're here?
Tell them you're training one of us.
I'm gonna do a sense motive just to see exactly how much onto us this guy is.
He's completely on to us.
Shh.
Yeah,
Exactly
I'm
where
gonna-
he's at.
Fucking sense over. Like,
Yeah,
from
does he
level
see-
of like this guy's a lower rank guy who's pretending to be a higher rank guy, up to he's completely full of shit. He's not supposed to be here at all. What level is he on?
So, Asteron, you feel like you could chill, get a wool over his eyes. You don't feel he's fully understanding what's going on. Akiyama, you're looking at the situation. The only thing going in your head is fuck, 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 fuck.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna go up to Akiyama. Excuse me, sir. I believe by this point we should probably make our way back up the tower. Clearly, this man does not understand your rank and your importance to the entire operation going on here. I believe that you should not waste your time with this.
Quick visit to see how the workers were doing. It's more than enough. Yes, I suppose we should be going.
Do you want me to make a
Really?
bluff check for that?
I think you should rather opt to stay.
Oh no.
Fuck!
Oh no. Fuck me. It was going so good.
At that point, Astron's gonna look at the man and try to. Okay, so I want to intimidate him in a way that we have rank over him, and that he should not be doing this. So would that be a deception, bluff,
We can add.
intimidation?
That would have nothing to do with intimidating him, would just be intimidating him.
Yeah. Like what I've been doing is bluffs.
Yeah, that would be more of a
Intimidating
bluff
bluffs,
to bluff
but
him
they're
to believe
bluffs.
that. Right, intimidate is you're doing something to
Actively
get someone
scare
unsettled.
them,
Yeah. Not
Okay.
to force them in believing that you're a higher level.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna. In that case, I'm gonna look to him like, really, man, you're really trying to do this right now with this thing. Actually, I'm gonna say that. Okay, I'm gonna go over to him. It's like, okay, look, we are. Look, man, this guy been on my back about this for days now. All right, we just needed to go down here, look at the mother stone, trying to figure out exactly what you guys are doing down here, because we've had a whole bunch of shitty reports. It's been horrible. I'm just looking to catch a break. You have no idea what this guy's like when he's angry. Seriously. 21.
God, you're shit.
I know.
Oh, you have a plus 16 though. It's better than
You haven't
mine.
got a chance. You haven't got a chance, by the
Okay.
way.
Yeah.
You haven't got a
Good to
single
know.
chance.
Nope.
Good to know.
We're fucked, Sam. We're gonna
I was
die.
gonna help, but
We
I
all
was gonna
gonna
help.
die.
21. A
We did.
21 has no chance, and I'm not even gonna try.
Say goodbye to the people you love.
I have a better idea.
Oh God, no.
No,
He
thank you.
says as he reaches
No,
out
thank you.
and plucks Astron off the ground.
Fuck.
So,
Worth, I
Oh, how big
totally
is
had
he?
you going though, didn't I?
He's around
So-
20 feet tall.
oh, okay, right.
He's a
Okay.
fucking big
So
guy,
he plucks
dude.
me off the ground.
Take
Well.
him in the eye.
This is a predicament. If you wouldn't mind, place me back on the ground gently. I believe that you're making a huge mistake here. It's not gonna go well for you.
Yes, it is.
As
I'm gonna
he
try
puts
it.
you on the. Oh, go ahead.
Does he actually start doing it? Because I would do it if he
No,
hesitates.
he was going to
Okay.
do something, but you're saying this while he's in mid-transit of doing something.
Alright. Now I'm gonna just try to intimidate him. Then.
Really?
Yeah.
What a bitch! What a bitch! You're a bitch.
Yes.
Probably. Possibly.
What's rough though? I fucking had it for a while.
Yeah.
I did what I could, I fucking had it.
Although you should probably cut the shit and just went straight to the point. I need to.
No, you had
So-
to keep the comments going to act like that was why you were there. You had to make it real.
Alright.
It's an art form, right? Someone like you may not understand that.
Ah.
Hi, Asteron.
As he looks at Astron, he just like with his. Keep in mind, he's only been talking to you with his left head. His right head not even turning from the papers that he's been doing.
Right.
As this goes on and you say this to him, like there's hesitation as he's holding you up. As he turns to his other head and says something in that harsh language, as this one seems to groan in like visible aggravation before taking its glasses off and turning to you. This one having very, very sharp eyes. Listen, whatever shit you're trying to pull down here, you have about 5 seconds before I notify every single worker here that they will get a week break for killing every single last one of you. So, you have about 5 seconds to prove me not to do that.
I take the baby hostage.
Okay.
Says that out
Oh
loud.
God.
Not actually, he does it. He just says, "I take the baby hostage."
I think.
I'm gonna raise my axe to one of its necks. Fuck.
Astron is gonna look at us like
As he said, the workforce seriously needs improvement. It'd be shame to lose the next generation, right?
Astron's looking back, looking over at Akiyama and Raya, and looking back to him. He just kind of lets his shoulders shrug. I'm just like, do what you will.
Oh God.
Still bluffing.
Roll the bluff then.
I'm bluffing all day.
Oh my
Shit, that's
god.
not great. Actually, that's a 7.
Oh.
That's a 7. That's decent. I need the good kid rolls though.
He turns, the right head turns its head. The left, like, still looking at you guys with his eyes as a right head whistles. One of the two-headed men, or two-headed giants, working the closest, though it's a good, 100 or so feet away, picks its head up.
Are we running?
Kill yourself!
What?
Excuse me?
As it looks, its eyes shocked for a moment, and looking like it's about to plead with it, but the one with the sharp eyes just gives it such a glare that it bites its tongue, looking down as it takes its pick and drops it square in its chest.
Making
A
a
spew
point.
of green blood
Sorry?
sprays out in
You
front of
picked
it
the wrong pitch to fuck with!
as it takes a knee and then slouches forward. As he then turns his attention to the ones next to him.
Free dinner!
As
No thanks.
they look a little shocked amongst themselves, but don't make an uproar or don't yell or anything, and just go to move to eat the newly found corpse.
I'm shocked right now. What the hell?
You have a lot of sway down here, don't you?
Unlike you,
The sharp eye turns back to you.
I'm not one that idles on threats.
Right. You have a lot of
Does that
sway
mean I'm
down
killing the
here.
baby? Does that
A
mean I'm
lot
killing
of
the
power,
baby?
huh?
His
Less
eyes
of a-
seeming to look directly at Akiyama when he says this.
Less of a threat, more of a. How would you say it? The entire situation's impractical, surely. A practical man like yourself would understand that there's no real need for such a violent turn of events. We can all talk about this, we're all educated people.
You're the one that brought this to physical harm to a child. Monster.
Astron
You
is gonna
threatened
look
to
to
eat
him.
that person.
Okay, just to
Or
say,
threatened to have other
Astron.
people eat that person, and me,
We weren't
and
gonna eat
everyone
them.
else.
We weren't gonna eat him.
Yeah, Astron does look to Akiyama, saying that really was not the best idea you've ever had, man. And looks at him. Hey, so just a quick thing. So, like I said, you seem to have a lot of sway down here. Also, you seem to be very educated, more than a lot of your other peers. Despite my friend's rash decision, I do believe we could reach a compromise in the situation. I believe everyone feels that way as Astron turns around, still in the thing's hands.
Thumbs up, my dudes.
I'm gonna turn to Akiyama. Listen, sir, the game is up. Clearly, I know we didn't go through the proper channels to get here, but you want the same thing as he does. It doesn't need to escalate further. I know you are trying to avoid all the trouble it would cause to get the proper mandates to be here. But we're all trying to improve, so let's just back off a little and do what we can to solve this.
Tell me you're not bluffing as well.
I'm just sort of not audible to everyone in a low voice towards Akiyama.
Okay, fine. Alright. I mean, for what it's worth, had you go for a little while? Mostly because people have been threatening to kill me pretty much since I got here. I don't really have any plans that are untoward towards anyone here. In fact, I honestly could care less. I would rather just get what I come here to do, which is effectively just talk to someone, maybe broker a deal that would probably end up benefiting them, and then leave, and never come back, and leave with the people I came here with. Apart from the child, you can have that child. In fact, you're supposed to have that child, but let's be real, some of the people here aren't exactly the brightest. They just kind of forgot about it. But I thought, you know what? I'll do these people a favor. We'll get the child for them. We'll get it where it needs to go.
It's around this time.
Diplomacy, my dudes.
It's around this
Okay.
time you hear the thundering hoof stomps of armored giants making their way to the 7th octank from that northern castle.
Oh boy.
Get ready for that TPK, guys.
Yep. Ready for it.
And you expect me to believe you walk in a place that even demons wouldn't crawl to make a deal.
Yes.
To be fair.
Asron wants to speak but looks back at Sujin. Question about that. About that statement. What exactly would you do to a demon that walked through here?
Oh my god.
My
Just
title
Astron is talking in this like moment of like trading between the two of them. The finger lets go of your clothing and then re-snaps, each pressing against your ears, now holding you by your neck. Or holding you by your head.
Oh. Is he like trying to muffle me? Like, why is he like? Do I understand what he's doing?
Because you feel your head start to be pulled out of socket unless you actually hold yourself up now.
Oh, okay, so I'm trying to hold myself
Right.
up. Is that like?
Strength.
Okay.
Grab onto those fingers, man.
You're now at a threat of dying.
Right. So what? So do I do a 1d10 now?
1d10 plus strength.
Okay.
Go do something quickly.
Guys,
Alright.
gotta do something now. This is looking really, really bad.
It's a 9.
As Akiyama and the rest of the group, you watch as Asteron's like flailing to try to hold on to this creature's large fingers, but its slickness of nails is hard for him to grip as you watch his body start to lurch and jerk as his neck is slowly starting to extend from his own body's weight.
Oh boy.
At around this time, you watch the group of giants slowly start to approach.
Well, it looks like whoever you are looking for to make this deal won't be here before you die. It seems like I'm the only one you have a deal to make with now.
Should've kept walking. Should've fucking kept walking.
Someone has to pick up for Akiyama. Andrew's not here. Fuck. Alpha.
That was a whole host of wrong names.
Astron's flailing. What? Can we please talk about this? Please.
Someone. Alfie's not here.
Yeah,
Do I
I'm
need
trying.
to
I'm
roll
trying
a side
I'm
hand?
the worst
secretly
person
pulling out
to
my
lead
bow.
this.
You don't want to do that, Kelsey. I'll tell you that right now. You don't want to antagonize them. You will not
That's
win
why
this.
I'm secretly pulling out my bow, so that they won't see. That's why I'm asking if I need to roll a sleight of hand.
I mean, can I still speak?
No.
Tell him about.
Okay, good to know.
Maybe we can get something done. We're listening.
Tell him what?
Yes. Yes.
Part C, Section 8. Tell him about it. Maybe he can make it happen.
Please drop the act. I know you're not a felicitor. At best, you're a bunch of rats that found yourself in the death's hole.
Sounds about right, yeah.
I could still make it happen.
You have seconds.
Oh boy.
What do we do?
He's
All
waiting for you guys to make a deal with him, which no
Oh.
one's attempting.
I want, and all anyone here wants, is to get out of this plane. This entire plane. Don't want to be here. Got no business here. Got no allegiances here. Not working for the enemy or anyone. We just want to be out of this place.
Anywhere but here.
If you want to make a deal, what are your terms?
You got something you want to do that will help us eventually get out of here, or let's be even nicer here. Live. I'll probably take it.
Oh no.
As you say this, the host of 20 armed and weaponed giants thunder into the vicinity area.
It's them! They're intruders!
Fuck me. Silly.
Rip them to shreds!
Which point you watch as the guards start to make their approach. As the one sitting at the table sets Asteron's form down on the table itself. Actually, they're my guests. I invited them. They're doing me a favor, and you know how the facilitators hate guests down here. I didn't want them actually to stay dead, cause an uproar like they did. That is all my fault. I'll make sure that I make myself known to the birthing pods to add my lot to the pool.
A simple trip to the birthing pods won't make up for this.
Then I'll make it 2. Matter of fact, I'll even go there twice for the next 2 weeks. What do you say? It's not often that you get the genes of Utatab flowing through the pleasure chambers again.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
Hang on a sec. God damn, I'm good at
That
this.
is, I never wanted to hear any of that.
God damn, I'm so good at this.
As the one that seemed to be adorned the most, with the most fetishes on himself, with, like, the highest of height, turns and looks to the seated individual.
2 times a week. For the next 3 weeks. Or 2 times a day for the next 3 weeks.
I think he actually did that. He actually corrected himself.
Done. I'll make sure that we get more healthy individuals with maybe a spark of my creator's blood in them.
What the fuck? Exactly.
As he nods,
I'll bring this to the facilitators to make sure that is known.
very well. Glory to the 8 pillars.
So confused.
And let the sun die.
Very good. Very good.
As they make 8 consecutive knocks on their chests before thrusting their fist up towards the sky, as the 20 or so guards begin to disband, leaving you separated and alone with this individual at the table. Now, I do believe we are at the start of making a beautiful friendship. With that, we're gonna take a break.
Oh.
We
Put
need
down.
to stop
Oh
making
my-
fucking deals!
Didn't
So we're gonna get out of here.
Good choice, now did I?
So thank you
Oh
guys
my
for
God.
watching. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break, and we're gonna come back and finish up this week's episode with like 30 or so minutes of more gameplay. It's running pretty late, but yeah, we're gonna be back here in about 10 minutes. So see you soon.
Jesus Christ.